Yo, 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 what's going on, good people? I'm your homie HerbMan, and you're tuned in and you're rocking with the best, and this is a brand new episode of Herb of the Day. So go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie is on, man, and we busting you upside the head with a brand new Herb of the Day. If you're dealing with skin issues, if you're dealing with high cholesterol, if you're dealing with sluggish blood and all this type of stuff, and you need your blood cleansed, this is going to be the video for you, and this is the herb for you. All right, so go tell somebody, man, that your boy is on, and get ready to rock with the best. Now, thank you guys for supporting the station. Again, we'll continue to catch ground. Still, you need to go ahead and tell somebody, spread the word, spread the gospel of health and of wealth with your homie HerbMan. And if you're new to the channel, all you got to do is hit that logo right there on your screen and hit that notification bell so that you never ever miss a daily episode of Herb of the Day. All right, so without further ado, man, let's get right into our Herb of the Day. All right, I'm going to share my screen here. You guys let me know when you're able to get it. All right. Like I said, you're rocking with the best. I'm your host, HerbMan, and this is the Herb of the Day show. All right, now let's get into what our herb of the day truly is here. What is our herb of the day? It is burdock root. All right, burdock root. This is one of the most, I would say, potent and also two most aggressive plants that we can get. Is one of the most useful plants that we can get. So this is really going to be something that you really want to know about and you really want to get your hands on, okay? This particular plant originates in the European region, all right? And it is a biennial plant. This is one of the first plants that we had that we can call a biennial. And pretty much a biennial is a plant that takes about 2 years to grow from seed all the way to flourishing, okay? And pretty much once it do the little 2-year span, it dies off. You have to replant it and then go through the whole process again. All right. Now it also too, burdock lives in temperate climate. Okay, so that's going to be very good. It doesn't like too hot, too cold. Also too, it grows to about a height of 1 and 1.5 meters. So not a very tall plant. All right. Now, what are some of the historical usages of burdock? And what are some of the historical information? Okay, again, burdock root goes by burdock, but it also has another common name, Beggar's buttons. Okay, now the scientific name for burdock is going to be Lappa, Arctium, Lappa. Lappa or Arctium, Lappa, whichever one you want to do is going to refer to burdock. Okay, and then you have your slew of different languages to say it in. Now, the parts that are used are pretty much the whole plant. You're going to use the herb, the root, and the seeds, okay, when dealing with burdock root. And so all of those are going to be very, very medicinal for you. Now, the constituents here is that burdock root contains fatty acids, which are always going to be good for our cells. It also contains organic acids, okay? And so those are going to be something that you can't really get from anywhere else other than living foods or vegetables or fruits and things of that nature. It also has phenolic acid. Now, all of these acids are going to be very good for the blood. And it has lignans. It has sesquiterpenes. All right. Now, sesquiterpenes are pretty good constituents to have. It also has tannin, which most medicinal teas and herbal teas are going to have tannin. But this particular burdock root also has mucilage in it. And it also has one of the all-time favorites here, and that's inulin. Now, what is inulin? Inulin is actually a starchy substance that can be utilized when you're not producing insulin. So for all of you guys that are in some kind of pancreatic situation or diabetic situation where your pancreas cannot produce insulin, talk to your doctors. Maybe inulin is a substitute that you can use to raise your blood sugar levels the way that you need for them to be raised, or either lower them the way that you need for it to be raised. You can use inulin in the way that you need to. Okay, but Burdock also contains iron, which is ever so important. Sulphur, which is ever so important for us as well. We can only really get sulphur from a few different things, and it also contains the all too important B vitamins. Okay, so just that alone makes this particular herb, just the constituents and what it contains alone, make this herb very, very useful, very, very beneficial for the human anatomy. Now, what are some of the actions that burdock has? It seems like it's one of the most powerful and reliable blood tonics in herbalism altogether. Now, do you know how many herbs and plants that there are? Even just in herbalism, even though we haven't, discovered all of the plants and all of their usages, just with the few that we have discovered is a lot. It's very overwhelming. So for you to say that this is one of the most powerful and reliable blood tonics here, it really speaks volumes to the effectiveness of burdock root, okay? And it also acts as an antibiotic action of the root against staphylococcus and things of that nature. And it also has adaptogenic actions too. An adaptogen pretty much adapts to the environment. It adapts to your body, and it doesn't give you anything, and it doesn't take anything away. It mostly comes in and just normalizes the situation. Okay, so this is going to be a unique thing about burdock root. A lot of people don't talk about burdock as being an adaptogen or having that adaptogenic effect, but it does. All right, and it definitely is an alterative, which is going to be good for the blood. There's an anti-fungal, which is always going to be good. It helps fight off all kind of fungus that may grow inside of our bodies. It has hepatic action, which is going to be good for the liver. Lymphatic action, which is going to be good for our lymph nodes and our entire lymph system. It's a diaphoretic, which is going to allow us to sweat. A diuretic, which is going to increase our urinary flow through the kidney. So now you are looking at a blood, a liver, a lymphatic, and a kidney situation here. It's going to be used as a laxative as well. So that means that now you're talking about the colon. It's a hypoglycemic, which means it lowers your blood sugar. So now you're talking about the pancreas. It is a oral exogenic, which means that it stimulates the appetite. So now you're talking about anemia, anorexia, and all those types of things. And it also has the action of the be bitter, which is going to be good for your digestive system. And that's why this is a perfect herb. Okay, you want to get this herb. We have this herb. If you want to go to our website, if you need this herb, just look at the video. We'll show you how to get this in your hands. All right. Now, also too, it says that it has an anti-tumor activity reported back in the day. So if you're growing tumors, if you're dealing with anything like that inside your body, cancer situations, you may want to look into burdock. Okay. Now, some of the historical uses is that it's been used for arthritis. It's been used for gout, rheumatism, boils, styes around the eye, seborrhea. Seborrhea is when you get scaly skin, kind of like dandruff, but when you get it in around your nose or around your mouth or something like that, it would be called seborrhea. Now, when it's in your head, they call it dandruff, but it's seborrhea. Okay. It can be used for things. It has been used for things like cystitis, anemia, anorexia nervosa, which we just talked about. It's been used to lower blood sugar. Why? Because it has that hypoglycemic action. It has also been used for skin diseases, especially psoriasis, acne, and eczema. Okay, and the reason why it's always going to be good for the skin, because anything that cleans the blood and cleans the liver will also have an effect on the skin. It's going to be also good to reduce cholesterol levels. Now, I know I just put out a video yesterday telling you guys about heart disease and it being the #1 killer, and how we need to reduce our cholesterol and lower our cholesterol, but not with drugs and not with vaccinations and all these other different things that is actually increasing our chances of heart attack and brain damage and all those types of things. Where here you have burdock that does it quite naturally and quite the way that you will want it to be done, through herbs and through vegetables and fruit and food. Okay, so here you can eat a food that will reduce your cholesterol level. Okay, so if you're dealing with high cholesterol, look at burdock root. All right, now too, it also has been historically used for measles in the Chinese tradition. Okay, so all across the globe, people are getting their hands on burdock. Now, one of the combinations here that they did provide for us here is a yellow dot root combined with red clover and burdock. Now, I'm gonna just let you know that based on those 3 herbs, that probably is going to be a very, very good blood tonic. Now, you can combine those together and take this tea every day. So because I believe that you should take a blood cleanser every day, you should take something for your liver every day. So you could break this down and do Yellow Dock Monday, Red Clover Tuesday, Burdock Wednesday, and start the cycle back over. Or you can combine this and make sure that you're drinking a cup or 2 a day. All right, and that'll keep your blood right. That'll keep your organs right. Again, because this is almost touching all of your most important organs. Okay, so you want to put burdock in your medicinal cabinet. Now, what are some of the recommended ways to prepare this? As always, if you need this, you're going to take it 3 times a day. Persistent with low doses is more favorable than larger over short periods of time. So if you're only going to be using this for a short period of time and you need it for this particular situation here, is not a chronic situation that's happening all the time, then hey, do it in small doses over that short period of time, and you should see some really good results. All right, now some herbalists have observed more favorable results from using the decoction, which we always are going to suggest you use with any herb here. So again, decoction format: half 1 teaspoon root to each cup of water. We're going to allow it to simmer gently for about 5 minutes in a closed vessel, and then we'll drink a half a cup 3 times a day. Also, too, they have this in liquid extract. You can do a 1-to-1 ratio and about 25% ethanol alcohol, and you can dose that at about 2 to 6 milligrams 3 times a day. Or you can do this in tincture form, okay, with the root. And this is going to be a 1-to-5 ratio, and you're going to do about 25% ethanol with this as well. And you're going to dose the tincture at about 8 to 12 milliliters 3 times a day if you need it. Now, also, we have powder form of burdock. You can do 250 milligram capsules with meals 3 times a day. You can do, you can also get this in a topical compression, okay? And you can do 2 teaspoons with the shredded root or the powder. You put it in 2 cups of water, you allow that to simmer, and then you allow it to sit for about 30 minutes. And then you put your cloth in there or your material that you're going to use in that water, and then you apply it topically to your skin, to the eczema, to the psoriasis, and things of that nature. Okay. Now, remember, guys, that I'm not a physician nor am I a doctor, so please consult your physician before utilizing any of the herbs that you see here on Leaf of Violet Essentials channel. But for that matter, we say here at Leaf of Violet Essentials, research everything before you put it into your body. If you ain't gonna trust me, don't trust nobody. Okay. And that's what I say right there. Now, look at how beautiful the plant is. Now, it's kind of an exotic plant. It looks very exotic. But again, you can probably tell this plant from any other based on these bulbs here, that it pretty much, the burdock comes out of the bulb. So you have this little spiky little green bulb here, and then you have the red burdock that kind of comes out the top. Kind of flowers out of the top of these particular bulbs. All right, and then you see the leaf formation here, kind of some big fat leaves. Again, this doesn't grow very, very high, so it's going to be very low to the ground. So you should see it's almost like a rosary. You should see this look almost like a rose bush or something like that. And so remember, guys, that you want to really, really understand the leaves and the stems of flowers so that you can really get a gist of what it is, who it is that you're looking at there, because they can confuse you a lot. Now, some of the other things about burdock, let's see what else burdock is good for. Again, if you're dealing with water retention, burdock is going to be very good for water retention as well. So you don't have to take water. You know, water retention pretty much has something to do with swelling. So if you see swelling in the ankles and you're getting swelling all over the place, you want to try burdock root. Try the burdock root, okay? If you're taking, a lot of times when people are taking high blood pressure pills, they can begin to start seeing a lot of this sweating, okay? I mean, a lot of the swelling and a lot of the water retention there, because, you know, the high blood pressure pills are pretty much water, they're water pills. So you want to have something to combat that, look at burdock root, okay? If you're dealing with chronic degenerative diseases, burdock root has been known to be pretty good for those things. Again, it's been known for fungus and bacterial things. It's always going to be good for the liver and the kidneys. When you're talking about hepatic eruptions, fever, blisters, rashes, and things of that nature, this is your go-to. You can also use the burdock for ulcers and things of that nature. I mean, look, this herb is a reason why this is one of the highly sought after herbs right here, right? So you definitely want to do your research and see what you can do with this particular herb. It's also good for rheumatism, arthritis, belching, if you got a problem with burping all the time. If you got skin blemishes, stuff like that. If you got stomach problems, again, this is going to be good because it has that bitter action to it. Anything dealing with wounds of the skin, burdock is going to be good for. Bruises, you can also use it for that. Facial neuralgia, you can also use it for that. Abscesses, endometriosis, estrogen dominance. It could also be used for gout, and burdock has also been used for uterine fibroids. So people, this is a magical herb right here. You want to get your hands on burdock root. Now, what we suggest you use this for, and what we feel like is most effective for here, is skin and high cholesterol issues. And again, I want to add a caveat to this: it's good for the blood. So you can say the blood, the skin, and high cholesterol. If you're having any issues in those three areas, which I feel like all of us should, if not anything, get it for the blood situation, because we all need to make sure our blood is cleansed, especially with the type of diets that we all share into. So again, this is a great herb to have, you guys. Please do your research and look into this. I want to thank all of you guys for continuing to follow us down the road and continue to make this station your #1 station for herbal education, man. We appreciate all of you guys thus far. You can continue to follow us. You can continue to chime in, comment. We appreciate all the comments. We appreciate all the love. We definitely need more. So if you can chime on in, let us know how you feel about the programming, about what we're bringing to the table here and what we're trying to do for our people. It's just very important for us to open up our minds and get a lot of this education that we weren't getting before. And then also too, we want to also learn specificities, how things are going to be specific for your makeup and for your biology as a white man, or as a white woman, or as a black man or a black woman, or as a Asian man or Asian woman, or as a Spanish man or Spanish woman. There are things that are specific to you, and that's why traditional foods and traditional diet and knowing your heritage is going to be very important. If you look at something that's called the blue zones, which are pretty much zones in the world where people live longer than the average, right? All of these people are pretty much still on their traditional foods and their traditional diet. So that's a caveat from your homie. This has been your episode of Herb of the Day. We love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan, man. Until next time. Peace. Yes, sir.